who grows up in Britain has that goal of going to running the London Marathon.
The best piece of marathon running that you've ever seen from any woman, and London belongs to Paula.
This is London, this is my course, this is one where I really feel at home.
And you want a record from Paula Radcliffe.
I would like it to stand for as long as possible, and that's why I worked as hard as I did.
Fantastic performance, the best yet, unbelievable from Paula Radcliffe.
I'm a big believer in mind over matter, and if you keep thinking positively, then you will get through it, even when it looks probably at its darkest.
Paula Radcliffe stopped on the roadside, that's enough. Her Olympic dream is over. What a sad sight.
I wanted to know, could I have done it? And I got my answers by racing it, so I don't have any regrets.
Great athletes come back from great disappointments and prove that they're resilient and strong and capable of producing performances.
It's a little bit of a gift, really, to go back to London and to run that marathon one more time.
Paula Radcliffe is one of Britain's most popular sports personalities. Her career has seen her enjoy many high points, as well as endure some bruising lows. Tomorrow, the marathon world record holder takes to the streets of the capital to run the 26.2 mile distance one last time, despite a serious foot injury which has plagued her over recent years. A few weeks ago, I travelled to her home in Monaco to see how preparations were going, to meet her family and talk through those golden moments of a marathon career we've all been lucky enough to see. It's been quite an epic journey to get to this point, but how are you feeling mentally, physically and emotionally?
I think generally quite relaxed about it. Definitely it feels a little bit, not surreal, but there was a long time when I didn't think that I would get to this point, and so to be actually here and to be at the point where I'm thinking, okay, even about times that might be possible, to be able to be even thinking about doing that, given where I was even a year ago, is for me something special. And I think it's a little bit me being greedy, but a little bit of a gift, really, to be able to go back to London and to just run that marathon one more time and just enjoy it and take it in. I'm not expecting to be ultra competitive with the elite women's field or anything like that, but I want to do the best, obviously, that I can do. So just to be able to, on my terms, say, okay, I'm going to run one last marathon, and then after that I'll see what's happened to my foot and body and where I'm at in terms of what I can continue doing. But I think the days of me being competitive there are over probably already, but it's just a chance to just go in and just kind of draw a line on my terms.
Radcliffe, 18, comes from Bedford.
Those championships were really, really special to me, and I think everything sort of came together that day.
She's attacking well on those tough underfoot conditions, but she means business in this race.
I just remember at the top of the hill with about probably 600 metres to go from there, thinking, I can win this one's mine.
The English schools champion becomes champion of the world in the junior race.
It was probably my first real step up to realise that actually I had a chance to make a career out of running.
How do you think you're going to feel on the start line, and what are you most looking forward to?
That atmosphere when you're out there on Blackheath is something so special. I grew up watching the London Marathon on TV and going down and watching my dad run it, seeing Ingrid Christensen set the world record there back in 1985, and then all of the special memories that I've got from 2002, 3 and 5, all of those will be going through my head, so it's going to be really, really emotional. But I think for me as well, it will kind of be a little bit, not a victory, but a little bit of a battle won to even be there on the start line. And so even though I guarantee you I'll finish and I'll be annoyed that I won't have run as fast as I wanted to, I guarantee that, but also I just really want to enjoy it. I want to be able to kind of take in that atmosphere and appreciate it and relive all those memories and kind of live the experience as well of running the London Marathon, because it is a really special experience and it will be a really emotional day.
Well, I know the British public are going to embrace you. I mean, could you imagine how that's going to feel for everybody, just having you there? It's going to be incredible.
Well, I don't know, because I see it the other way around as just the chance for me to be part of that festival that is the London Marathon, and to experience all of that. And that's why, kind of for me, I think maybe the mass start is best, because if going on the elite start, I can't be competitive with the top end, and I'll probably just be frustrated, and I might end up running on my own a lot of the time. Whereas to actually I've never done the mass start, I've never been part of that, and maybe that's like a side that will be more fun and enable me to see everything that's great about the London Marathon.
Paula Radcliffe leads from 4 of the best distance runners in the world.
This is make or break time.
I was really gutted to finish 4th, to have led for so long and kind of not really have done anything wrong, but just not been good enough to win a medal on the track in the Olympic Games.
4th, broken-hearted, Paula Radcliffe.
Well, what does Paula Radcliffe have to do to win a medal?
I think that was kind of the catalyst to show me that maybe the road and the marathon was going to be where I needed to move towards. The World Half Marathon Championships in Veracruz in 2000 was really significant. I went in, ran the championships on the road, won my first world title as a senior, and just found a surface that I really just loved racing on.
Give us a sense, though, of just how bad your foot has been. You know, since you had to withdraw from London, the Olympics, you've had a real battle, and it was almost life-changing for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were a lot of times in there where I seriously thought I was never going to be able to run again, and I debated whether I'd even get back to being able to walk normally. But the worst time was definitely, without a doubt, in the couple of weeks before London, where I couldn't walk on it. I was trying to run but was limping really badly. And actually at the end of last year I met the surgeon who did the operation for me in August 2012, and he said he gave me at the time a 50-50 chance of being able to run again recreationally.
To even run again?
Just go jogging again.
Jogging with your family or what have you?
Yeah, and just to be able to do that. But at the time I think I saw the 50-50 and thought, well, that's much better than never being able to do it again, so I'll definitely go for it and then stay positive through that.
And what's Paula Radcliffe like at moments like that, where you know you've had some real lows in your career, but having to go through that and face that decision, what state of mind were you in?
I think I was quite relaxed and quite positive going into the surgery, and then when it was taking longer, that was when it was harder, and dealing with, I think, the pain, when you're used to being an active person, when you're used to being able to walk everywhere, being able to just run around and do things, then when you're not able to do that, I think that hits you really hard. And I think having young children, that was probably the hardest time, when they want you to go out and play and you just can't. So it was more the kind of day-to-day things, and I think I tried to be quite philosophical about running in terms of I have had a really long career, and I've had a lot of fun in my life, but still I felt like something's missing if I just for me just can't get out and run. And the minute that I got it back, even though the first day was just a minute jogging, I could tell that I just felt better. I just felt lifted, and it was kind of, it's not like I need it, but it makes me feel better, and I think it makes me a better person to live with, probably.
I was going to say, you say it's not like you need it, you don't need to run, but I've always got a sense from you that running is almost who you are. It's part of your DNA,
yeah.
And without it, there is something really substantial missing from your life.
Definitely. I mean, there definitely is something missing from my life, because it's kind of like, it's my processing, if you like. So it's what I turn to if I'm happy, or if I'm sad, or if I've got something to think about, or if I just have got some excess energy I want to burn off, or if I just don't want to think and I just want to escape, then that's kind of what I do. And it's not like I need it every day, but if it's missing for weeks on end, then it does. I think it changes the person that I am. Every runner who grows up in Britain, every distance runner has that goal of going to run in the London Marathon. And so I think to get that chance to go into it, and I deliberately waited until I really felt mentally, okay, that I'm ready to attack this. My overriding emotions were, it's going to be really emotional, but really draw on that and use that energy. Above all, respect the marathon distance, but don't be afraid of it, because I really felt like that year I didn't really have anything to lose. The biggest thing I probably remember is going through the first half and really feeling like I was holding myself back, and then starting to attack in the second half. And it was only when I turned up the mile and I saw the clock ahead of me, and I suddenly thought, what is the world record? And I missed it by, I think it's 9 seconds or something like that.
Paula Radcliffe comes home to win the Flora London Marathon. A brilliant, brilliant performance, and London belongs to Paula. The second fastest time that anyone has ever completed the distance.
But I certainly remember crossing the line. The first thing I said to my husband was, we're going to go somewhere in the autumn because I can get that. The atmosphere in that stadium was just electric. I really do believe that pushed me almost around there and helped me to run better.
She wins it! She takes the title!
Here we are, witnessing a race faster than we've ever seen before, which is absolutely fantastic.
Paula Radcliffe once more wins, but this time it's a new world record. Smashed it to pieces.
2002 was just an amazing year for me, and then to finish it off with the Sports Personality of the Year, I mean, that's such a special recognition, I think, and to hold that trophy and look at the names that have won it before you, it's really something special.
Well, thank you for taking me out on the warm-up run. I can only say it was the warm-up because I would not have I wouldn't be able to hang with the main session. But what a backdrop. It's just incredible.
It is amazing. You come only 15 minutes out from Monaco, from home, and you're like almost away in the mountains, and really peaceful and kind of inspirational and lifting. So I think when you're having a tired day, it gives you that little bit of an energy boost just to look around and appreciate it.
Take me back to 2003 when you broke the world record. Was it the perfect race? Do you remember it clearly still?
I remember waking up, looking out, pulling open the curtains and just hoping it wasn't going to be really windy, and that I was going to feel good on the day, and all of those things were okay. And then in the race, just feeling like it was one of those days where I did kind of feel in the zone, like I was flowing, and there were bad patches within it, as there are within every marathon, but they weren't too long, and there was a lot of times just feeling strong.
Paula Radcliffe is now on her way to the fastest women's marathon of all time.
I knew for that last mile that I was inside the world record pace, so I remember saying to myself, like, remember this, just take some time just to make some memories, even though I was still wanting to push on as hard as I could, because I wanted the record to stand for as long as possible. But I do remember that vividly, how loud and how great the crowds were all the way along.
The crowds along the embankment know that they're witnessing something special. They've all come out to see Paula Radcliffe. It's a familiar sight, the head bobbing, gritted teeth, pushing on, relentlessly clicking off these miles at a pace which nobody has ever run before. Nobody's capable of running this fast.
I was at home watching on the sofa, and I was screaming at the TV, willing you to take that record, and you did so emphatically.
Here in London today, April 13. If I could stand up at one, I'd stand up and applaud like everybody else, because you were seeing a new world record from Paula Radcliffe. A fantastic performance, the best yet. Unbelievable from Paula Radcliffe.
Can you ever see being beaten? And obviously, you don't want it to.
No, I mean, obviously I don't. I would like it to stand for as long as possible, and that's why I worked for as hard as I did to get it so that it would stand. At the time I finished and I thought I was going to run quicker, and there probably were times after that when I was maybe in as good a shape or a little bit better, but records are always there to be beaten and to be shot at, and the event moves forward, but yeah, I don't particularly want it to be.
Do you think the balance that you have between sort of your career, your outlook on life, is very much down to having a family?
Yeah, I think so. I think in lots of ways, I think if you go right back to when I was a kid, I think the balance then that my parents gave me, my grandma was a huge inspiration to me all the way through her life. We just lost her last year, but there, I think they really gave us kind of that balance of, like, you work hard for what you want, but you identify your goals and you basically you try and do it, and we'll support you as much as you can in trying to do that. And they have supported me all the way through my career, and then now my own family, hugely supportive. And yeah, definitely I think that balance helps, because I mean, they are the most important thing in my life, and the minute the kids were born, they became the priority, and I think they brought a huge amount of balance. I mean, it was already a really strong, tight-knit team between myself and Gary before that, but I think then when you put first Isla and then Raphael came in, it kind of
gives you perspective.
Yeah, it gives you a huge perspective, and you want to go out and perform and work as hard as you can for them as much as for you now, but also when it doesn't go according to plan or when things go wrong, you come home and you think, well, that is what's really important.
And you've got a right character in Isla. She seems to have embraced the running. I mean, you did the Worcester 10K in September last year. Yeah. And she was right there with you.
Yeah, well, she took part in the under-11 race there, and I didn't actually see it because they started and then the adult race started right behind, so she really enjoyed it. And that's the stage she's at now. I mean, she's only 8, so she's really just running for fun, and gymnastics is, for the minute, her sport and her passion that she's most into, and she sees it as fun. And we were laughing because she did a little race here a couple of months ago, and Gary was laughing and saying that I was being a pushy parent because I was down with the tracksuit for her to change into and the drinks and things. He said, you just need to go in and just let her get on with it. And I think because we have kind of had that, both of us, that elite sport side of it, we can be that much more relaxed with them and just kind of let them just go and enjoy it. Because she turned around to him and she said, Mummy's not pushy there at all. She is when she makes me do my homework too much.
And you know, you talk about Gary's career, but he's been with you every step of the way. He's seen everything, and it's always a very difficult relationship. Husband, manager, confidant, training partner.
Yeah.
It's a very special relationship.
Yeah, it is, and I think kind of best friend in there as well. So you've got all of those, and it just worked, and it made us, I think, a strong team. And yes, sometimes that meant that there was probably a little bit more conflict, a little bit more tension in the home than there might normally be in a married household. But he kind of has lived that life and made those sacrifices, I think, for me and for us, and so that's something that I think probably a lot of times goes a little bit unnoticed. But I think without him I wouldn't have been able to have as long a career as I did and to achieve what I have done.
Paula Radcliffe announced to the crowds at the start. Huge support around the world, not just in Great Britain, for Paula Radcliffe.
Picked up an injury 2 weeks before, and I can just remember that just being such a panic and such stress.
Settling down, where she likes to be, in the front. Paula Radcliffe, the favourite.
I was on double strength anti-inflammatories, and I think all of that just combined with the stress just meant that I wasn't absorbing any food, any nutrients, and just ran out of fuel.
A new lease of life by Olema of Ethiopia puts a distressed Paula Radcliffe out of the medals, and this is a very disappointing picture to be looking at.
Actually, in the race, the injury would have held, but my body just wasn't strong enough, and I'd never been in that situation before.
Paula Radcliffe stopped on the roadside. That's enough. Her Olympic dream is over. What a sad sight.
I feel so sorry for her, really, really do. It's cruel. It is really cruel.
It will always hurt, but I think I have been able to put it behind me. And I think the more things kind of moved on through my career, the Olympics became that big thing that just didn't go right for me. My big point going into the start line of the 10,000 metres was that I wanted to know. I didn't want to sit in the stands and think, oh, could I have recovered enough from the whole trauma, I guess. I wanted the answers, and I got the answers.
Paula Radcliffe has stepped off the track. That makes this a very extreme, difficult and almost impossible situation for Paula Radcliffe. She ran a brave race there. Was it a wise decision? Well, only Paula can answer that one.
Mentally, for me, the best thing for me is to sort of get back out there and run hard, and that's the best way for me to get over disappointments. But physically, my body just hadn't recovered.
New York always has been a special city for me. I remember the first time I went there to race the New York Mile back in '95, just fell in love with the city.
Paula Radcliffe, a world record holder, trying to put herself back together as an athlete.
She so desperately wants to come back here with a victory. That looked like a real effort from Paula Radcliffe. The crowds are going wild. Radcliffe tries, Chepkamai tries.
It was kind of just me getting back to just enjoying racing, especially after everything that I'd been through.
Paula Radcliffe is coming home to win the New York Marathon. It's been tough all of the way, but she's a tough athlete. Paula Radcliffe wins New York. Welcome back, Paula. Well done.
We've seen a lot of tears over the years. We have. We've all lived them with you. And you've shown great fortitude with everything that you've been through, because everyone's been trying to retire you forever. But you're really resilient. You just want to seem to stop on your own terms, or actually never stop. You just want to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, I think because distance running, it is something that you can do forever. You get slower, and you change the level that you're running at, but it's something that hopefully I can do for a long time. And so it's not something that I really see that you need to draw a line and say, okay, I'm retiring, because I'm always going to keep running. And yes, the competitive side is quite hard to switch off in terms of just getting into a race and running minutes slower than you used to be able to. That's quite hard to kind of sometimes get my head around. But at the same time, that trade-off between that and just not being able to take part at all, you wouldn't make that trade-off, because I still get a buzz, an enjoyment out of just running around and enjoying it that way. So that's why I think you'll never see me retire. But I think it'll just be gradually kind of getting slower.
But, what does the future hold for you?
I'm not really sure. I'm kind of exploring all of those at the moment. I mean, I'm enjoying learning the commentating and obviously working with the BBC team. Really enjoy that. I enjoy working with British Athletics and helping with the endurance teams there. So yeah, that's a little bit of mentoring. And then I guess moving forward, I do want to kind of give back and help a sport that I love, and a sport that I think has given me a lot and is in maybe a little bit of a mess right now. So kind of thinking long term, do I want to get involved with something on an IAAF type level, federation level?
Yeah, I mean, the sport that we love seems to be under the microscope at the moment, and you're very vocal on that. Mm-hmm. Is that perhaps something you would like to discuss, the future of which direction the sport is going in? I mean, it's not good at the moment.
Exactly, and I think sport is going through the mill, really, and a lot of people looking at athletics and saying, oh, well, is that a sport where you would want your children to be involved in? Personally, it is. I mean, I want my children to be physically active. I talk all the time about the benefits of kids being physically active and doing sport, and obviously I want them to pick the sport that has that passion for them, the same way that I was able to choose running as the one that I really wanted to do. But if one day one of them turns around to me and says, Mummy, it's running that I want to do, I'd be really happy, of course. I would really like that, and I would love them to go into this sport. But I do think that we need to do something about the way the sport's marketed, obviously the way that anti-doping's carried out, and just where we're putting championships, things like that. And I think it's something that we can all sit and we can all complain and we can all say, oh, you need to do that better, you need to do that better. But I actually feel like, okay, now is the time when I have got the more time to be able to actually come in and put my money where my mouth is, as it were, and just to actually work there and try and do something to help the sport.
Well, here she is, after everything that's happened in the last year or so, running at that level again, and how good it is to see.
Great athletes come back from great disappointments and prove that they're resilient and strong and capable of producing performances.
Fantastic scenes, wonderful support for Paula Radcliffe.
But here she is running one of the fastest marathons of all time, in the place she loves to do it, in London, with crowds like I've never seen before.
To complete the hat-trick, I mean, I think at that point I was hoping I would be able to do many more London marathons, but unfortunately that wasn't the case after that. But to go back, especially after everything that I'd been through in 2004, and to go back and win there, and to set the women's only record there is really, really special.
What happened in Athens is now behind. She now can start to look forward, because once more Paula Radcliffe has shown she is the best marathon runner in the world by a long way, by a long stretch. She's going to win her third London marathon, much to everybody's joy. Paula Radcliffe well and truly back on top form.
Helsinki was important because I needed to show that actually I could win in a championship situation in the marathon.
She's been in this position many times before, and now it's all between Paula Radcliffe and the road. The moment of sweet glory for Paula Radcliffe.
The crowd get to their feet. The sweetest moment of her athletics career is about to come to her. This is the moment that Paula Radcliffe has waited so long for. It's going to be a championship record. It's going to be a gold medal for Great Britain. Paula Radcliffe becomes the world champion at last.
It was nice to go out and be able to kind of put those ghosts away about winning championship races. To win a world title is always special anyway.
If you, at the end of that marathon, you'll look at the race and you'll reflect back on the career that you've had, what will your initial thoughts be?
I think in some ways I kind of can already do that at this point. I can look back and be very grateful for the long career that I was able to have and for what I was able to achieve. So yeah, people will always point out the Olympics, and I'll look back and think, well, okay, I didn't get what I wanted from the Olympics, and that's the one place where I feel like I can look back and say I wasn't able to deliver the best I could have done on the day when I needed to there.
It's a sad sight to see such a great athlete struggling in such a way, but she's epitomising the Olympic spirit. Different tears to last time, very, very different tears.
But for a lot of other races I could, and the number of those that I was able to, I'm very grateful for that.
Paula Radcliffe wins the New York City Marathon, one of the best races you'll ever see.
So I can look back at this point and kind of, be a little bit proud of those achievements and how hard I worked for. And it feels like this is almost not a second career, but it's removed, it's different, it's not part of the same one. And I don't feel that, like, by now, say I go out and I run in 2:30, whatever, that's damaging what I've done in the past, because they're not, I don't think, comparable. I don't think that's taking away from what I have done. It's just that I've moved on, I'm older, I'm a bit broken, and I'm a different athlete.
This week, 3 years after missing the London 2012 Olympics, Paula has arrived back in the capital, ready for one last run in the marathon that she has won 3 times, and set that brilliant world record, which is set to stand for many years.
Coming down to London, even though I used to come in and do a press conference and then go away again and come back closer to the event, but I think that always kick-starts it off. That expo opening this morning, everybody there, everybody in the same excitement building, because you don't get that in track events, you don't get that in a lot of other sports, I think, where so many people are all building towards the same event. We're all going to share the same experiences, we've all had the same hiccups to even get here in one piece, and we've all got the same nerves. So I think that really starts to build the atmosphere. And of course I remember what it was like 10 years ago when I was building towards, and it's not much has changed. You're still trying to find the same routes when I go out for a run this morning. The hotel's still the same. Race day will still be pretty much the same. It's just the colours have changed and kind of the body's a bit older, and there's different runners on the elite start, but it's still that special London Marathon day.
London Marathon over the years has had a few individuals who've really made the event, but probably none more than Paula. And I think it's right for both of them. You know, it's a special year for London Marathon this year, 35th anniversary since the very first one, and obviously for Paula it's probably the last time we're going to see her run round this course. So I think for the two of them, it's going to be a pretty emotional day.
I went away to Kenya with the British team there. Probably, even though I thought I was being careful and not doing anywhere near what I used to do, probably got a little bit carried away, a little bit started thinking about what time I might be able to run here. And just the last 2 days, my Achilles just started to get a little bit sore, but I could still run on it. I didn't think then it was that big a deal. And then came back and it just got worse. And I think I had about 6 weeks where I really probably only got about 4 or 5 runs in, and was really starting to panic. Everything that I was doing, including complete rest, was not helping and not getting it any better. And then finally it just started to turn a corner pretty much Easter weekend, and then since then I've been able to run every day and just to gradually build up, and it's been very much babying it along and just hoping that things would hold together. And today's the first day that I've run on the road and gone without ice and things, and it seems to be coping okay. So I'm just grateful that it's allowed me to be here, because I think that period there where I just thought, oh, not again.
I
think the injury that she's had, and she doesn't like me saying this, but it's been a blessing in disguise, because she was getting carried away a little bit, and today was always meant to be about her enjoying it and being able to soak up the atmosphere and not be watching the clock all of the time. So although at the time it was difficult for her because she was worried she wasn't going to make the start line at all, cleared up great, and she can come now and not be thinking about silly thoughts about running very, very quick. She can just go out there and enjoy it, and as she says, finish with a smile on her face.
I hope I feel like I've enjoyed it, not like in pain or in agony. I just want to be able to have those happy memories to take there, and I think gratitude for having the chance to be able to go and do it, because let's face it, I'm not being competitive. I'm just going and doing it a little bit selfishly just for me, because I want to run the London Marathon one more time, and a little bit kind of not a victory but overcoming my foot injury, because there was a long time where it was taken away from me and I couldn't do it, and I never could have envisaged being able to run the marathon again in whatever time. So I think that will be special too, to be able to do that and to say, okay, yeah, they said that I couldn't get it to this point, but actually it has, and it's managed to work with me there and enable me to do that, because that's important, and still be getting stronger and getting better while I'm doing things like this. So it's not taking away the fact that in 10 years I can go for a run with the kids and enjoy it.
So Paula is ready. And just after 10 o'clock tomorrow, she'll begin that long journey from Blackheath to the Mile for the very last time, while she'll be cheered on by thousands.
If I finish on Sunday with a smile on my face, I really don't care what the time is. I just want to be able to go around and enjoy it. But I will still be frustrated, because you can't turn off that competitive side. So once I start, even though I have no idea what split times I'm aiming for, and I just want to run how I feel and just look at the mile markers, take them by, and just run for 26.2 miles.
We wish her well, as she says a fond farewell in what will be the 35th running of the London Marathon, the most inspirational global sporting event that has since 1981 celebrated all that is great and good about the human body and human spirit.
The name of the game these days is participation, and if they can do it in the same race as the best, then they're really rubbing shoulders with the gods of sport, and those are very special events, and they're the events of the future. I wander lonely streets behind where the old This first London Marathon, even before it started, is surely already the most remarkable success. Reminds me of what I have run for. And every man and every hand and every kiss, you understand. Will you marry me? Please say yes. The performance of a great champion, a new course record. A sight to behold every single year, one of the greatest sporting occasions on the British calendar and indeed the world calendar. The runners that makes this the event it really is. One of the greatest pieces of running that we've ever seen. A new world record from Paula Radcliffe.
relatives from overseas running almost every corner of the earth. I'm not sure there's any marathon in the world that has such a finishing strength.
We've seen Paul in London today, what is surely destined to become one of the great events in British sport.
Watch Paula Radcliffe in action in the 2015 London Marathon tomorrow morning. Live coverage starts on BBC 2 from 8:30 and on BBC 1 from 10.